Salut Zonis de la Planète Terre, bienvenue dans la seconde partie sur le jeu de Stanley Parable. Le fameux jeu à choix où nous avons un narrateur qui nous conseille de faire des choses et que nous pouvons ou non ne pas écouter. Donc dans la partie précédente, j'ai écouté tout ce qu'il m'a dit et je l'ai fait. Ici, je vais faire totalement le contraire, c'est-à-dire que je vais n'en faire qu'à ma tête. Je n'écouterai pas ce qu'il dirait, je ne le ferai pas, je ferai ce que je veux et je vais le faire tourner en bourrique. J'espère que cette vidéo vous plaira et on va se lancer dans l'aventure maintenant.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Donc, nous y revoici à nouveau. Donc ici, on va vraiment faire tout le contraire de ce qu'il nous dit.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
D'accord. Ah bah, mon bureau c'était le 427, je m'étais trompée sur les caméras dans la vidéo précédente. Je vais regarder 458 je pense, alors que c'était 427. Je me suis trompée, bah tant pis.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
Ah,
co-workers.
cette fois-ci je peux toucher aux ordi.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Je fais ce que je veux. Bon allez. Toujours le petit mug Hate Monday. Il y a quelqu'un qui a renversé du café sur le tapis. Allez.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Eh ben non, moi je traverse la gauche. Ha ha
This was
ha.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Peut-être, c'est une idée. Peut-être. C'est une idée, tiens ça. On va aller voir la salle de détente.
Wow. Yes. This room. What a beautiful room. What a
Ouais,
gorgeous,
bof.
gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible
Tu vas avoir un
even to
soda.
consider.
Allez, donne-moi. Alors ça marche pas, sûrement pas de pièces sur moi.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
De l'entreprise, ça serait marrant. Je peux pas me faire un café? Oh, dommage. Ah, là-bas, j'aime pas trop le café.
But eager
donc,
to get
voilà.
back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
D'accord, ok. Le narrateur s'est interrompu tout seul et a laissé les sous-titres parler d'eux-mêmes. Eh ben non. Et attends. Ah ouais, non. Bah non, je vais par là.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ouais, c'est incroyable, hein? Je sais pas comment j'ai fait. C'est super. Bon. Ah, c'est une carte, une porte avec une carte d'accès. Les pénalités. 10 000 $, 5 000 $. Dommage que je peux pas sauter. Comme il n'y a personne, j'aurais pu le faire. Allez, hop.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this
C'est pour ça
time.
que j'ai envie de décider
There's
ce que je
someone you've
fais.
been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
C'est qui elle? De qui tu parles, elle?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back
Next.
into your life.
C'est mon ex?
She's been waiting.
Oh, elle m'a attendu.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone. As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited once... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Oui, j'ai débranché
No, that
le
wasn't supposed to be a
téléphone.
choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me
J'avais dit que
double
je t'écouterais
check.
pas.
No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices.
Ah bon?
And to think
C'est
I've
pas
been letting you
ton-
run
ta
around in this
répartie?
game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have
Non,
that
parce
kind
que
of
je suis là
risk
pour
on
te
my
faire
watch.
tourner un burrique.
I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice.
Ah,
It's the
d'accord,
best
ok,
part
pourquoi
of being
pas.
a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous.
Comprends pas
For
ce que tu
example,
dis.
in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
C'est bugué, il se passe quoi? Ouh.
Excellent.
Ah, je dis.
Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
C'est bon, c'est fini?
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Et on dirait les graphiques qu'il y avait dans la salle de réunion de la vidéo précédente. Bon ben là j'ai pas le choix de lui obéir, donc c'est ce qu'on va faire. Et puis ah, il va me faire retourner en arrière, mais j'ai pas envie de retourner en arrière moi. Ah, je pense que j'aurais pas le choix. Hey, laisse-moi rentrer. Non. Oh bah, fais demi-tour alors. Ah, en plus, il ferme les portes derrière moi pour s'assurer que je ne puisse pas faire demi-tour.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Dommage. Donc ici j'ai pas le choix, il faut que j'écoute parce que ça je suis bloquée. Ah là il la ferme. Hey, et il a fermé la porte où j'étais censée aller. Je suis censée faire quoi moi maintenant? Non, ne me dis pas que je suis censée. Ne me dis pas que je suis censée refaire tout le jeu quand même. Pas depuis le début. C'est ça?
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Alors, il m'oblige à faire tout le sens inverse juste pour... parce que mes choix ne lui correspondent pas. Je m'en fous, je continuerai à désobéir. Je désobéirai, mais de l'autre côté. Ça sera de ta faute. Et je suppose que si j'avais décroché le téléphone, ça se serait passé différemment.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Là, allez, on va être gentil. Non? je sais pas trop ce que je dois faire ici. J'ai envie juste de repasser par la gauche juste pour l'embêter et puis après lui obéir et puis lui désobéir. Non, j'avais dit que je lui désobéirais, donc je désobéis.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Hey, ça a changé. Hey. Oh, c'est trop bizarre. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Oh! Une distorsion dans le temps. Oh mon Dieu! No! Ah, il dit pas no! No! Je suis déjà revenue là, mais j'ai juste envie de voir si ça va changer. Bon, bah, j'ai pas le choix. Bon. T'es bon là, t'es content?
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
No. 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 Hey, méchant. Où suis-je?
Oh! I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Bon, allez, on va aller à gauche. Ouais, gentil. Et c'est vraiment que tu sois revenu ou pas? Apparemment, oui.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Non. Non, j'irai pas dans le bureau du patron. Y a pas moyen? Hey, il verrouille les portes. Alors, il verrouille les portes. Oh,
coming to a staircase,
Salaud!
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Salaud! Non! Salaud! Je te déteste! Il m'oblige à faire les choix que je veux pas faire. Il triche! Hey, c'est autrement. C'est ouvert. C'est pas le même bureau.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Et je fais ça comment?
Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Comment on fait? Requin marteau A15.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Je fais comment, gros malin?
Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do.
Oui,
I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Je crois que j'ai détraqué tout le jeu.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door.
C'est la fin comme ça?
Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward.
C'est pas vrai, espèce de menteur. Quand je faisais des mauvais choix, tu m'obliges à retourner en arrière. Salaud.
Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? You're listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Bon, merci à Galactic Café pour ce jeu vraiment génial. J'aime vraiment bien, il est bien, je trouve. Mais bah, voilà la deuxième fin donc, que j'ai faite. Donc si vous avez envie de voir les autres fins, n'hésitez pas à me le faire savoir avec un pouce bleu, un commentaire aussi pour me dire vas-y, fais les autres suites, enfin fais les autres fins. J'ai envie de voir ce qui va se passer si tu fais ça ou ça ou ça. Et je le ferai s'il y a beaucoup de demandes. J'espère que la vidéo vous aura plu. Abonnez-vous si ce n'est pas encore fait. Et pour ceux déjà abonnés, n'oubliez pas la petite cloche pour être sûr de recevoir les futures notifications de la chaîne. J'espère que cette vidéo vous aura plu. Et moi je vous dis au revoir et à bientôt pour plus de jeux et plus de fun.